My name is Harold, and I'm a 62-year-old retired factory supervisor. Last month, I received a text message that changed everything between me and my daughter Vanessa. Dad, the wedding was yesterday. It was only for special people. You understand. I stared at that message for 20 minutes. 26 years of raising her alone after her mother left, and this is what I got. Special people? I texted back. I'm your father. Brandon's family is very particular about appearances, she replied. His parents paid for everything, their guest list. That was a lie, and I knew it. My brother Robert called me that afternoon. Harold, I just saw Vanessa's wedding photos on Facebook. What happened? She said it was only for special people, my voice cracked. That's ridiculous, Robert said. You raised that girl by yourself. You worked double shifts to pay for her college. She's embarrassed by me, Rob. Always has been, I think. Ever since she got into that fancy marketing firm. Did she tell people you weren't coming? I pulled up her social media. Every photo had comments asking where I was. Family emergency with my dad, she'd replied to one comment. He couldn't make it, but he sends his love. She'd lied to everyone. Harold, you still there? Robert asked. She told people I had an emergency, made herself look like the caring daughter. That's messed up, man. I thought about the trust fund I'd set up for her, the $300,000 I'd saved and invested over 26 years, living in a small apartment and driving the same truck for 15 years. Rob, I need to ask you something. You're an estate attorney. Can I change my will? Of course. What are you thinking? I'm thinking Vanessa just made the biggest mistake of her life. The wedding had been at the Riverside Country Club. I'd driven past it that day knowing I wasn't welcome. Brandon's parents were wealthy real estate developers. Vanessa had been dating him for 3 years, and I'd met him exactly twice. Mr. Patterson, you seem like a nice guy, Brandon had said at our second meeting. But Vanessa and I are building a certain lifestyle. I'm sure you understand. I hadn't understood then. I did now. My phone rang. It was Vanessa. Hey, Dad. Sorry I haven't called. The honeymoon planning is crazy. You told me the wedding was only for special people. Dad, don't be dramatic. Brandon's parents had a limited guest list. You told people on Facebook I had an emergency. Silence. I was trying to save you embarrassment, she finally said. You don't exactly fit in with Brandon's crowd. Because I worked in a factory? Because I don't own a yacht? Dad, can we not do this? I'm calling because Brandon and I are looking at houses. We found this amazing place in Westchester, but we need help with the down payment. I know you have that trust fund. I hung up. The next morning, I met Robert at his law office. You're absolutely sure about this? He asked. She excluded me from the most important day of her life because I embarrassed her, then lied about it, then called asking for money. Robert pulled out paperwork. Okay, let's discuss your options. I want to revoke the trust fund, change my will. Everything goes to charity or to you and your kids. That's $300,000 plus your house and savings. You're talking about nearly $500,000 she's expecting. She made her choice, Rob. Robert's paralegal, Jennifer, brought in coffee. I'm sorry, I couldn't help overhearing. My sister did something similar to our parents. Some people only care about money. Did your parents cut her off? I asked. They should have. Instead, they kept giving her chances. She kept taking advantage. Jennifer shook her head. Don't make their mistake. Robert drafted the papers. We'll need to make this ironclad. I'm recommending we include a clause specifically stating why she's being disinherited. Won't that be harsh? It prevents her from contesting it. We'll document everything. The wedding exclusion, her lies, her immediate request for money. My phone buzzed. Vanessa again. Dad, did you seriously hang up on me? We need to talk about the house. I showed Robert the message. Don't respond yet, he advised. Let's get everything in order first. Do you have the Facebook screenshots? I took photos of everything before she could delete it. Good. What about the text where she said, only for special people? I have that too. Robert smiled grimly. She documented her own downfall. People always do. Over the next week, I gathered evidence. I found the wedding venue's website listing the capacity at 300 guests. I got the vendor invoices through a friend who worked in catering. Vanessa and Brandon had paid for it themselves, not his parents. She'd lied about that too. Why would she lie about them paying? I asked Robert. To make it seem less personal. Easier to blame someone else's guest list than admit she chose to exclude you. I also discovered something else. Vanessa had been telling her friends for months that she was getting a substantial inheritance to help start her life with Brandon. She'd been counting on my money while planning to exclude me from her wedding. Harold, I think we should bring in Sarah Williams, Robert said. She's the best estate attorney in the state. We need this bulletproof. I met Sarah the following Tuesday. Mr. Patterson, your brother explained the situation, Sarah said. I've reviewed the documentation. You have an extremely strong case for disinheritance with cause. Will she be able to fight it? Not successfully. We have clear evidence of emotional abuse and abandonment. The fact that she requested money immediately after excluding you demonstrates a pattern of financial exploitation. What happens to the trust fund? We'll dissolve it and redistribute the assets according to your new will. I recommend splitting it between your brother's children's education funds and a charity of your choosing. I worked at a factory for 35 years. What about a scholarship fund for factory workers' kids? Sarah smiled. That's perfect. And poetic. Vanessa called again on Friday. Dad, we really need to talk about the down payment. The sellers want an answer by Monday. Vanessa, we do need to talk. Can you come to Robert's office tomorrow at 2? Uncle Robert's office? Why? Because we're going to have a conversation about your future and mine. This is about the wedding, isn't it? Dad, I said I was sorry. You never actually said that. You said you were saving me embarrassment. Fine, I'm sorry, okay? But we're family. Family helps family. Interesting definition of family. Does family exclude each other from weddings? Dad, please. 2 o'clock tomorrow, Robert's office. Bring Brandon. I hung up before she could argue. The next day, Vanessa and Brandon arrived 15 minutes late. Sarah and Robert were already in the conference room with me. What is this, an intervention? Vanessa laughed nervously. Why is everyone so serious? Sit down, please, Robert said. Brandon squeezed Vanessa's hand. Whatever this is about, we can work it out. We're all family here. That's an interesting word coming from you, I said. Family. Dad, if this is about the wedding, Vanessa started. It's about a lot of things. Sarah, would you explain? Sarah opened a folder. Miss Patterson, I'm Sarah Williams, your father's estate attorney. We're here to inform you of changes to your father's will and the dissolution of your trust fund. Vanessa's face went white. What? The trust fund containing $300,000 has been dissolved. The assets are being redistributed. You can't do that. That money is mine. Actually, it was never yours, Sarah said calmly. It was held in trust, which your father had full legal right to revoke. Brandon stood up. This is ridiculous. Mr. Patterson, you're really going to punish your daughter over one mistake? Sit down, Brandon, Robert said firmly. Let Sarah finish. The new will, Sarah continued, leaves everything to Robert's children's education funds and a scholarship fund for children of factory workers. You are specifically excluded with cause. With cause? What does that mean? It means we've documented your exclusion of your father from your wedding, your lies about his absence, and your immediate request for money afterward. Any attempt to contest will be unsuccessful and may result in legal fees you'll have to pay. Vanessa turned to me. Dad, please, we need that money. We already put an offer on the house. You should have thought about that before you decided I wasn't special enough for your wedding. I made a mistake. People make mistakes. You didn't make a mistake, Vanessa. You made a choice. You chose Brandon's image over your father. Brandon's jaw tightened. My image? Your daughter wanted a nice wedding, not some... Careful, Robert warned. Not some what? I asked. Not some blue-collar embarrassment? Finish the sentence, Brandon. Vanessa was crying now. Dad, I'm begging you, don't do this. You told me the wedding was only for special people. Well, my money is only for special people too, and you're not one of them. 3 days later, Robert called me with an update. Harold, you need to hear this. Vanessa's been calling everyone in the family. What's she saying? That you're punishing her over nothing, that she's your only daughter, that you're being cruel. What are they saying back? Well, Aunt Linda told her, your father raised you alone for 26 years and you couldn't invite him to your wedding? You made your bed. I couldn't help but smile. And my daughter Jessica called Vanessa yesterday, Robert continued. Vanessa asked her to talk to me about the inheritance. What did Jessica say? She said, Aunt Vanessa, my dad is getting that money for my college because Uncle Harold loves us. Maybe you should have loved him back. She's 16 and has more sense than Vanessa. There's more. Vanessa and Brandon lost the house. They couldn't get the down payment together. Where are they living? Brandon's parents' pool house. Apparently, the wealthy real estate developers aren't as generous as Vanessa thought. 2 weeks after our meeting, Sarah called with more news. Harold, Vanessa's attorney contacted me. They're not contesting the will. Really? I thought she'd fight. Her attorney advised against it. He read our documentation and told her she'd lose and rack up legal bills she can't afford. So it's over? It's over. The scholarship fund is established. The Harold Patterson Education Fund for Factory Workers' Children. That sounds good. It sounds like justice. A month later, I ran into Vanessa at the grocery store. She looked thinner, tired. Dad, she said quietly. Vanessa. I lost my job. The marketing firm downsized. I'm sorry to hear that. Brandon's parents cut us off. They said we need to learn to support ourselves. Sounds like good advice. Dad, please, can we talk? Really talk? What would you like to talk about? I was wrong. About everything. The wedding, what I said, asking for money. I was awful. Yes, you were. Can you forgive me? Can we start over? I looked at the daughter I'd raised, the girl I'd sacrificed everything for. Vanessa, I forgave you the day after the wedding, but forgiveness doesn't mean going back. What does that mean? It means I forgive you for being cruel, but I don't forget it, and I don't reward it. So the trust fund is gone, and it's not coming back, ever. Her eyes filled with tears. Dad, we're struggling. Brandon works, but it's not enough. We might lose the apartment. Then I suggest you get a job. Any job. Like I did when I was supporting you. I have a marketing degree. I can't just work anywhere. I had a high school diploma and worked factory floors for 35 years. You'll survive. Dad, please! Goodbye, Vanessa. I walked past her to the checkout line. Last week, Robert told me Vanessa and Brandon are divorcing. Apparently, without money, Brandon's interest disappeared. "She's asking if you'll talk to her," Robert said. "What did you tell her?" "I told her that actions have consequences, that she chose status over love, and that her father is the best man I know, and she threw him away." "What did she say?" She hung up. The scholarship fund gave its first award yesterday. A young woman named Maria, whose father works at the same factory I retired from. "Mr. Patterson, this means everything to my family," Maria said. "My dad talks about you at work, says you were the best supervisor he ever had." "Tell him I said hello." "He wants to know if you'll come to my graduation next spring. He says you should see what your money is doing." "I'd be honored." Maria hugged me. "Thank you for being special enough to help people like us." Special enough. Those words hit different now. I didn't take anything from her that was hers. I just stopped giving her things that were mine. Have you ever been excluded from an important family event only to have that person ask you for help later? What would you have done in my situation? Like and subscribe for more stories about people who refused to be victims and fought back the right way.